So we'll see the first concept, what a ratio is. Ratio is a measure which is used to compare two values. So as we are comparing two values, both should be of same units. Say suppose we are comparing a person's salary with other person's salary. Say two persons A and B. So if this person's salary is 40,000, so this is in rupees. So we have to compare other person's salary only. So we can't compare the height of other person. So taking other person's salary, say for example, so if it is 50,000, so ratio of this salaries is 4:5. So ratio of their salaries is 4:5. So we have compared the salaries of two persons, so where the ratio is got as 4:5. Suppose we are comparing a distance covered by these two persons. Say this person has covered 400 kilometers and the other person 500. So here, what is the ratio of distance covered? So it is the same, 4:5. So when we are comparing, we have to compare which is of same units. So salaries means both salaries should be compared. Distance means distance is compared. So as we are comparing of same unit, the ratios as such, so as we cancel out the common factors, ratio doesn't has any units of its own. So this kilometers also gets cancelled. So mere by seeing the ratio, we can't decide what they are talking about. So they have to mention that salaries of two persons or distance covered between two persons. So if suppose we have a ratio like A is to B, so here this is in rupees and this is in pies. So here they are comparable because you can convert rupees to pies or pies to rupees. So when we compare, when we convert this pies to rupees, so 100 pies is 1 rupee. So it is B by 100. This is also in rupees. So now which will result to 100 A is to B. So here both same units get cancelled. And now when we are converting, it is better to convert to lower units because finally we end up with this. So 100 pi is 1 rupee. We have the ratio 100 A is to B. Suppose we are comparing kilograms and grams. So this is in kilograms and this is in grams. And now this is also comparable. So we can convert this kilograms to grams. So 1000 grams is 1 kilogram. So multiplying this with 1000. So this is converted to grams. And this is also converted to grams. So cancelling out, we have the ratio 1000 A is to B. Suppose if you have the ratio like, so 1 in rupees and the other in kilogram. So these are not comparable. Only if they are comparable, so they are termed as ratio. So otherwise this is termed as rate. Say for example, so if it is 300 rupees and 3 kilograms, so here we get, so 300 by 3, where cost per kg is 100 rupees. So when they are not comparable, so it is termed as rate. Here cost per kg is at the rate of 100 rupees. If suppose you have kilometer and hours, so then for 3 hours distance covered is 300 kilometers, so which implies the person has covered 100 km per hour, so which we term it as speed. So speed here is 100 km per hour. So earlier it was cost per kg, here it is speed of a person, that is 100 km per hour. So when they are not comparable, it is termed as rate. So when it is comparable, then we take it as rate. It is called as ratio. And ratios is also written in quotient form. So when you have two persons, so you can write this in quotient form also. So more than two persons, then we can mention it in ratios itself. So when we are working out ratios, it should be in integers. So both should be in whole numbers. Say you don't have negative ratios. A is to B. So two values 10 and 17. So this B's value is 7 more than A's value, and A's value is 7 less than B's value. We have only more or less concepts in ratios, no negative ratios. And if it is given as A's value is 1 by 8 of B's value. So we don't write fractions also in ratios. So A's value 1 by 8 of B's value, it is represented as, here B is the base, we write here 1, and A is 1/8 of B. This can also be written as 1/8. So we should see that the integers, the ratios is in integers. If suppose they say B is 1.5 times of A, here A's value is the base and B will be 1 by 2, or 1:3 by 2, which can also be written as 2:3. So ratio should be mere integers. So when you have a fraction, so you can write this, send the denominator to the other part and write the ratio in normal format. If suppose if it is given in decimals, say 2 and 1.5, so we can multiply both the parts with 2 and it can be written as 4:3. So see that the ratios, both the parts are in integers. The first part is called as the antecedent and the second part is called as the consequent. So working of ratios is very simple, and we'll see how to work out a given question using these ratios. Say 3 persons, A, B and C. So they share an amount. So the ratio is given as 5:3:1, and the detail is so difference between B and C, the amount is, say we'll take their sharing in rupees, money in the ratio 5:3:1, and difference between the amounts of B and C is given as rupees 2000. So what will be the amount got by A and B together? So if this is hash, so normally we'll see what is value of one part, what is A's part, what is B's part, we add and give the value. But whenever ratios is given, so instead of finding the exact values, you can work out with the ratios itself. So difference between B and C is given and you are asked to find the amount of A and B. So when you check the ratios, so what is the parts for B and C? B gets 3 parts, C gets 1 part. Difference between them is 2000. So what is difference in parts here? 3 minus 1, it is 2 parts. So two parts we have, it is given as, so rupees 2000, and we need sum of A and B. So what is sum of A and B? A's parts is 5, B's parts is 3, and we need total of 8 parts. So instead of finding A's value and B's value, so from this itself you can convert from 2 parts to 8 parts and get the answer. So 2 parts is 2000, we need 5 plus 3, 8 parts. So how can you get 2 from 8? So multiplying with 4, you get 8 parts. So multiply with 4 on the other side also. So here 8 parts is 8000. So with the ratios itself, instead of finding the exact value, so easily in the exam you can find this answer which is needed. So 2 parts data is given and we need 8 parts. So 2 parts 2000, multiplying on either side we get 8 parts as 8000. So working with ratio is very simple. So we'll see another concept by an example. So A and B salary is in the ratio 3:4. So A salary increased by 20%. So B salary increased by 50%. So I have briefed out the question here. So we are talking about A and B salary. It is in the ratio 3:4. A salary is 20%. A salary is increased by 20%. B salary is increased by 50%. And the question will be what is A salary or B salary will be asked. So here we'll take, so find A salary. So when you see in this question, the ratio is given and only the increase in their salaries is given. So increase in their parts is given. So no data is given. So whenever this ratio is given and if no data is there, only ratios can be found or only percentage can be found. So when they ask A salary, so direct you can go for cannot be determined answer. So please note that no data is given in this question. So just answer will be cannot be determined. So because I will show you the working. So here the ratio is 3:4. So if it is increased by 20% and 20 with 100. So these 3 parts. So adding 20 with 100. You have 120 by 100 into 3. So when they say A salary is 20% off, so then we just multiply with 20. Here increased by 20, so add it with 100. And B salary is increased by 50%, so the change factor will be 100 plus 50. And now when you simplify, so we have got only the ratio. So whenever, if no data is given and ratio is there and increase or decrease is given, so this question they ask. So if ratio is asked, just you can give this answer. If any value is got, it is cannot be determined. So in this, only ratios can be got. If they ask what is the percentage, so then you can work out the percentage, like if B's percentage is asked, B is 5 parts out of 8 and you can work out the percentage. So here only ratio can be got. So we saw what a ratio is and why we use it and what format the ratio should be, and now we'll see the other concepts.